Welcome to the Footcast. Today, we are delving into one of the most complex and captivating genetic stories on the planet. A narrative written not in books, but in the very genes of over 1 billion people. We are exploring the profound uniqueness of Indian DNA. To understand India genetically is to abandon all simple labels. It is not a melting pot where everything blended into a single, homogeneous mixture. Instead, it is a colossal and intricate mosaic, a living library of human history, where thousands of distinct genetic lineages have been preserved side by side for millennia. The story of Indian DNA is a tale of epic migrations, grand unifications, and then a dramatic freeze that locked this incredible diversity in place. The first Indians, the ancestral Ancient South Indians, or AASI. The deepest layer of this story begins approximately 65,000 years ago. As the first waves of modern humans migrated out of Africa, one branch followed the coastline of the Indian Ocean, and a significant population settled in the Indian subcontinent. These people are known to geneticists as the ancestral Ancient South Indians, or AASI. They were the first and sole inhabitants of the land for tens of thousands of years. Their direct descendants today are found in the highest proportions among the indigenous tribal communities of southern India, such as the Irula, Panya, and Jarawa. The AASI genome forms the autochthonous, or native, bedrock of the entire Indian population, a foundational strand that is part of every Indian's ancestry to some degree. The first great merge, the Zagros farmers and the Indus Valley civilization. The next transformative chapter began around 4700 BCE, during the Neolithic period. A wave of migration brought farmers from the Zagros Mountains region of modern-day Iran into the northwestern part of the subcontinent. These were not invaders, but pioneers of agriculture, carrying with them the knowledge of domesticated wheat, barley, and animals. When these Zagros farmer populations encountered the AASI groups, a long period of interaction and mixing occurred. This fusion gave rise to a new, distinct genetic profile. Most significantly, this mixed population is credited with building the magnificent Indus Valley civilization, one of the cradles of human civilization. This population, which geneticists refer to as the Indus Periphery Cline, became the dominant genetic profile across northern India. It was a perfect blend of Iranian farmer and AASI ancestry, a successful and advanced population that thrived for centuries. The Aryan migration and the genetic freeze of the caste system. Around 2000 to 1500 BCE, the subcontinent witnessed another major influx. Pastoralist peoples from the Pontic-Caspian steppe, a region north of the Black and Caspian Seas, began entering northwestern India through the mountain passes. These are the Indo-Aryan-speaking populations, often associated with the introduction of the Vedic culture and the Sanskrit language. Their arrival introduced a new genetic component, the steppe ancestry, which blended with the existing Indus Valley population, primarily in the north. However, the most critical and unique event in Indian genetic history was not the mixing itself, but what happened next. The gradual establishment of the social structure known as the Varna system, which evolved into the complex caste system, introduced a powerful rule of endogamy, the practice of marrying strictly within one's own social and occupational group. This social rule acted as a powerful genetic freezer. Just as different groups had achieved a significant level of mixture, this practice brought the process to a near halt. Populations that had been blending for millennia began to live as distinct genetic islands, side by side for generation after generation.
The Great Divide: Ancestral North Indians versus Ancestral South Indians. The long-term effect of this endogamy crystallized two broad umbrella ancestral components within the Indian population, which geneticists label as Ancestral North Indians, or ANI, and Ancestral South Indians, or ASI. Ancestral North Indians, or ANI, are populations that have a higher proportion of genetic ancestry derived from the steppe pastoralists and the Iranian farmers. This component is more prevalent in northern Indian populations. Ancestral South Indians, or ASI, are populations that have a higher proportion of ancestry from the original ancient South Indians, with a smaller but significant contribution from the Iranian farmers, likely through contacts with the Indus Valley civilization. The crucial insight is that these are not two separate races. Every major group in India today is a mixture of both ANI and ASI ancestry. A Brahmin from Kashmir might have 70% ANI and 30% ASI, while a Dalit group in Tamil Nadu might have 30% ANI and 70% ASI. The caste system did not create pure lineages. It froze a vast and continuous gradient of mixture at a specific point in time, preserving the ratios that existed then for over 2,000 years. The island effect: an archipelago of thousands of populations. The story becomes even more detailed when we look beneath these two broad categories. The caste system is not a simple hierarchy, but a complex network of thousands of endogenous groups known as jatis. These jatis are often specific to a region, language, and traditional occupation. For over 2 millennia, these jatis have functioned as genetic islands. Genetic studies have revealed that the genetic distance between two jati groups living in the same village in India can be greater than the genetic distance between a Spaniard and a Hungarian. This means that many of these groups have been as genetically isolated from each other as populations from different continents. This has exploded into micro-diversity within India that is unparalleled. India is not a single population. It is an archipelago of thousands of distinct populations, each with its own unique genetic history. The consequences: a natural laboratory for genetics. This long-term isolation has had profound and tangible consequences. Each of these thousands of jatis has accumulated its own unique set of genetic mutations over centuries. This has led to what is known as the founder effect, where certain genetic disorders are found at very high frequencies in specific communities because a founding ancestor carried that mutation. For example, a specific mutation causing a form of juvenile Parkinson's disease is prevalent only in a community from eastern India, while a mutation for a form of cardiomyopathy is found almost exclusively in a community from South India. This makes India a critical region for medical genetics, as these isolated populations provide unique insights into the genetic basis of disease. Furthermore, this diversity is the reason for the incredible range of physical features seen across India, from skin tone and hair texture to facial structure and height. This variation is a direct reflection of the different proportions of ancient ancestries that have been preserved in isolation. Later layers: the final threads in the tapestry. The genetic tapestry of India was further enriched by subsequent, though smaller, migratory waves. Austro-Asiatic-speaking tribes from Southeast Asia brought their genetic signature to parts of eastern and central India. Tibeto-Burman-speaking groups from East Asia settled in the northeastern states, creating a distinct genetic landscape there. Later historical periods, involving trade with the Romans, invasions by the Mughals, and colonization by the Europeans, all left subtle but detectable genetic marks on specific populations and regions, adding the final threads to this already unimaginably complex picture. the living library of human history. So, why is Indian DNA so unique? Its uniqueness lies in a specific sequence of events. First, a series of massive ancient population mixtures between deeply divergent human groups, and second, a prolonged period of intense social isolation that preserved the results of that mixture in exquisite detail.
Thank you for joining us on the Footcast for this exploration of Indian DNA. If you found this journey into the mosaic of human genetics fascinating, please support the channel by liking this video and subscribing for more deep dives into history, ancestry, and the stories that connect us all. We love hearing from you. What other population histories should we explore next? The genetic journey of the Caribbean? The story of the Silk Road? Let us know your ideas in the comments below. Share this video with friends who are curious about their roots. Until next time, keep exploring.